I wrote Shogun Method, and so this won't surprise you. All day, I deal with the bombardment of guys seeking advice about love and women. And the one question that consistently pops up is this: how on earth can I escape the friend zone? Trust me, you're not alone in a friend zone situation. I mean, there's no man who hasn't found himself trapped in the dreaded friend zone at least once in his lifetime. So, let's tackle this thorny question head on. Let me tell you this little backstory of mine. I can still vividly recall my early 20s when I was head over heels for Patricia, a fine art student from Goldsmiths College in London. I had met her at a Jimi Hendrix tribute gig at Camden. Okay, if I'm real with you, she wasn't extremely good looking. On the hotness scale of 1 to 10, 1 being Oprah on her best day, and 10 being Megan Fox on her worst, she hovered around a solid 8. But there was something about her that had me completely captivated, apart from her nicely shaped bosom and toned antelope thighs. It was like love at first sight, a feeling I had never experienced before. Maybe it was how she vibed to Purple Haze that really caught me in the feels, or the brunette locks that reminded me of my childhood crush. I wasn't sure. Anyway, that day I number closed her, and we kept in touch as I took a bus back to my college outside London. From then, we talked all the time on the phone, and we'd sometimes meet for a pint on Saturdays in Camden Town. But then, things took a sour turn. Every time I mustered up the courage to ask her to be my girlfriend, I hit an impenetrable stone wall. She insisted we were just mates. Those words stung like a bee. Looking back now, I realize what a damn fool I was. Seriously, I should have moved on pronto. But hey, it wasn't entirely my fault. Back then, I was 100% clueless about the art of dealing with women. So, if you find yourself trapped in the friend zone, here's my advice. Get over her. Because here's the thing. Before you can do anything to escape this wretched zone, you've got to let go of the pain and start using that thing called logic. You see, you can actually break free from the friend zone. But the key lies in not landing there in the first place. Think of it as a journey through Mordor. If you end up there, well, you're simply an idiot. Listen to me because it's time to wise up and take charge. Now, let's tackle the million-dollar question. Why do women put men in the dreaded friend zone? I could give you a laundry list of superficial reasons, but it all comes down to one crucial Shogun Method concept: contextual rapport. Pay close attention here because this is crucial to understand. Picture this. You've just met a woman. What typically happens is you start talking, and you keep talking, uncovering every detail about her, finding common ground, and all that jazz. But what does this achieve? It turns her into your friend. Now, there's nothing wrong with becoming friends with someone. The trouble arises when you stay in that friend zone for far too long, causing a truckload of problems. Let me break it down further for you. First, if you hang out in the rapport stage for some time, she gets comfortable. As I teach in Shogun Method, no tension equals no attraction. The lack of sexual tension is a serious buzzkill, attraction-wise. Second, excessive rapport gives her the notion that she's the one being pursued. This puts her in a position of power where she can outright reject you or conveniently dump you into the friend zone. Not the best outcome at all. And here's the icing on the cake. Third, an overdose of rapport blurs the lines between you and her. To ignite emotional and sexual arousal, there needs to be some contrast, some differences between the two of you. These differences create sparks, the essential ingredient for sexual attraction. Unfortunately, when you're just good friends, those sparks fizzle out. For now, let those 3 ideas sink in, understand them, and realize it's time to escape this trap. To get out of the friend zone hellhole, we'll seek for an answer inside the wonderful realm of Shogun Method. Believe it or not, helping my brother Shoguns get out of the friend zone is my freaking specialty. I'm like that guy from Prison Break who gets himself locked up on purpose just to escape. Sounds insane, but it proves that getting out of the friend zone is totally 100% doable. So, what's the secret sauce? It's this. It's all about communicating directly with the emotional part of her mind. In Shogun Method, we call it the subconscious hacking adventure. As you'll learn in Shogun Method, the female mind has 2 parts, the emotional and the rational. To sway a woman's decision, you need to tap into the emotional side of her brain. Now, the reason you're stuck in the friend zone is that you haven't stirred up enough emotions in her. You're just another guy she has pleasant, friendly conversations with, Essentially, you're one of her girlfriends. So, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to reignite that sexual spark within her. It's time to turn her back on. And to achieve this, you'll be attacking the emotional side of her brain. You'll be delving deep into her subconscious mind, because that's where the magic happens. Let's sink into the theory a little deeper. A woman's thought process operates in two different modes, emotionally and rationally. And communication with women happens in two ways, conscious and subconscious. The subconscious mind is the hot side of the equation. It's where emotions run wild and decisions are driven by feelings. It's like the fiery core that fuels her actions, sometimes irrational. On the other hand, the conscious mind is the cold side. It's the logical, analytical part of her brain that makes decisions based on reasoning and facts. It's the cooler, more calculated aspect of her mind. To truly make an impact and have her view you as more than a friend, you need to tap into her subconscious mind, the hot zone. This is where emotions reside, allowing you to create a deep connection. By appealing to her emotional side, you'll spark that attraction and sexual desire within her. Remember, the subconscious mind is the key to breaking free from the friend zone. It's time to turn up the heat and make her feel something extraordinary. Next, we'll learn how to appeal to a woman's subconscious. To do that first, you must understand her sensory preferences. Let's break it down in something we call the VAKSOG in Shogun Method. First, V in VAKSOG stands for visual. Women process information through their sight. They observe and analyze visual cues, such as body language, facial expressions, and overall appearance. Second, A stands for auditory. Women usually prefer auditory input. They pay attention to the tone of voice, the way words are spoken, and the overall sound of communication. Third, the K in VAKSOG stands for kinesthetic. The kinesthetic mode relates to touch and physical sensations. Women appreciate tactile experiences and the feeling of connection through touch. Next, S is somatosensory. This mode involves the overall body sensations and emotions. Women are attuned to the physical and emotional experience associated with communication. O is olfactory. The olfactory mode relates to smell. Women are sensitive to scents and how they contribute to their overall perception and mood. Finally, G in VAKSOG is gustatory. The gustatory mode pertains to taste. While taste may not directly apply to communication, it can influence a woman's overall experience and perception. The key here is to understand that women's brains constantly take in information through these senses, and their communication is influenced by their sensory preferences. By adapting your language and communication style to reflect these modes, you can better connect with a woman on a subconscious level. So, pay attention to the way she observes, listens, touches, smells, tastes, and interacts with the world around her. Tailoring your communication to her preferred sensory mode can create a stronger connection and appeal to her subconscious desires. Let's simplify it even further with an example. Suppose you ask a woman about her favorite movie, and she mentions Pretty Woman. You follow up by asking what she likes about it. Let's say this is her response. Well, the cinematography is beautiful, some of the camera shots of the city are incredible, the film is super colorful too, plus Richard Gere isn't too bad to look at. From her response, it's clear that she processes the world visually, which aligns with the V in the VAKSOG framework. Now, when you respond, you would mirror her sensory mode by using visual language. For instance, you might say something like, "True. I remember seeing that at the cinema, actually. Weird. I remember that day like it was yesterday. The sun was shining, the sky was blue, and I got to look at Julia Roberts for 2 hours. Looks like a good day in hindsight, at least." The basic idea is to mimic her VAKSOG mode of communication. Pay close attention, discern how she perceives the world, and employ words that match her preferred communication style. When you get this right, it's like pure magic. She'll feel an incredible sense of connection with you, as if you understand her better than anyone else she's ever met. This opens the door for her to open up to you completely, and friend zone problems will be all over for you. As I've shown you, it's not as complicated as it may seem. By adapting your communication to her sensory preferences, you create a powerful bond and foster a deeper connection with her. And by obeying the VAKSOG rule, you'll avoid friend zone problems by not getting there in the first place. Easy, right? Well, It should be, because Shogun Method explains everything. If you're ready to escape the friend zone for good, it's time to join the Shogun Method movement and be a shogun. Never ever settle for being just friends. Learn how to speak to a woman's subconscious and ignite that attraction like a boss. Believe me, this isn't some game. It's a legit strategy that works. Trust me, she'll never see you as a friend again. Join us now at shogunmethod.com.